We're glad you're with us. We got some real exciting stuff coming up. I'm going to tell you at the end of this presentation what we're going to do on the next one, which is on June 6th. June 6th, 2016. There will not be a call next Monday night, and Pathfinders always takes off Monday of Memorial Day in deference to the folks that fell, just to keep that day solemn. So next Monday night, we will not do a Zoom, but the one after that will probably be one of the most impactful ones we've ever done, because what we're going to do is give you nuclear-tipped ordnance so that you can build an absolutely explosive business. We're going to give you, hey, diddle, diddle, right up the middle, powerful weaponry so that when you get out to build your business, you're armed with the best. You'll know exactly how to execute, how to talk to people, how to get belly to belly, what to do. You know, and we're really excited about it. It's no mistake that it's on June 6th. They have the 72nd anniversary of D-Day. We will call this End Day, all right? The day that we get back on the beach and get rocking. One of the big things we want to do is put major firepower downrange to people that are able to build the business, because we have the customer side, we have the direct sales side where people just want to create some income. And it's interesting, we have a number of people, some of you may be on this call tonight, that are making a great income just selling to people without necessarily building a group. Of course, you can't help but build a group when somebody clicks upgrade, you know, and they start to do that. And then there's the third tier of Nikennery, which is the full business builder using the Niken plan. And what we want to be really good at doing in this business is not presenting to customers, not presenting to small business builders, and not presenting to big business builders, but presenting Niken and letting them select what they want to be. And so what we're going to do is get you on message so that you're able to articulate who we are, what we do, and how we do it. Simple, easy, effective, duplicable, whether you're in Germany, whether you're in North Dakota, or whether you're in Latin America. Niken doesn't change. It is what it is, what it is. We're a company built on the concept of this, you know, we were talking today, alive care. It's not just about your health or your wealth, it's about your life. And we're bringing self-care into your hands. We're bringing financial ability into your life. Whether you're in Latin America or Europe, that's what we do. The way we do it's by giving you the power over your self-care and your environment. That tool creates a powerful business that allows people to create an income vehicle that they can accessorize and build to the level that they want. So the message of Niken, it is what it is, what it is. If I was to ask you what this is, you know, whether you're a supporter, a promoter, an analyzer, whether you're a type A person, whether you're male, female, single, married, PhD, or GED, this doesn't change. By the way, this is a commemorative I'm sorry, geez, holy smokes. I cannot believe I'm this old now. This is a 30-year anniversary of the Chicago Bears triumph in the Super Bowl. It's one of the greatest days in world history, ladies and gentlemen. So if I was to tell you who this is, I would say this is the Chicago Bear 30-year anniversary cup. It's blue, it's orange. It says it says 1920, the founding year of the Bears on it. That's what it is. So if I was to go out and tell you guys, go tell people what this cup is all about. I don't care what your background is. It's blue, it's orange. It says the Bears were founded in 1920. We have to get to that level where we are in Niken so that we're able to articulate our message, and then we can add our personal stories to it, our passion, our heart to it. But it has to start with that simple thesis of who we are, what we do, and how we do it. It's got to be quick. You can deliver it in just a couple of minutes. It's got to be efficient so that the newest people can pick it up and read it without help. It should be usable so that help can tell it better. It should be fast. It should be on video. It should be on audio. It should be something that anybody can do anywhere. And we finally have all the things in place to make it run, and we're going to do exactly that. So the bottom line, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to absolutely get after it. We implemented the customer side and showed us how to extend out our retail, which is a volume multiplier. It's a force multiplier. Instead of one consultant doing $200 in auto ship, you've got one consultant using their stuff plus 5 or more customers. So the dynamic of how many people are connected in Niken is dramatically enhanced. But there shouldn't be confusion about today I am only going to talk about the products. I don't know how to leave the house and talk to customers. I don't know how to leave the house and talk to business builders. I don't know how to leave the house and talk to people that just want to build a little business. I go out and talk to people about how great Nikken is, and then they select how they want to view Nikken into their lives. And what we're going to do is get things really straight in your mind so that people know exactly how to articulate that message. And then here's the interesting thing. One of the things that causes confusion is we're trying to pre-select how we're going to message Nikken to people. It should be just the opposite. The Nikken message should be clear. It should be bright. It should be easy to explain. And then the people select how they want to use Nikken. We tune into what people need. They're looking for health. They're looking for wealth. They're looking for all those things. So if someone says to me, hey, Rick, I'm looking for a water system. In fact, Paige today just connected somebody. We got a new customer on board, a friend of hers. They ordered a water system and some M-Strides. They said, my husband's having a problem with their feet. The water system is something that our doctor recommended. We get alkaline water. We said, hey, here's a great price. Hop on board. We'll send you the video about the water. I sent them the little 1-minute deal about how the feet, get hot standing on the mag steps. They came back and said to Paige, hey, we want those things. So what we did was we sent her the link to our webpage, and they went in and they placed an order as a customer. Now they're already asking Paige, we have other people that know know about these. How would we send them to you? And Paige asked him a real simple question. Well, would you like us to get the commission, or would you? At the point when they say, well, how does that work? That's when we say, we're going to show you the plan, who we are, what we do, and how we do it. It's as simple as that, guys. And what we'll be able to do then is, let's say you're connecting 1, 5, 10, 50 customers. Let's say you're talking to 10 people or 30 people. That's your bulk product going into the machine. What we're going to do then is have a deliverable for building the network side for the people that want to actually make a living at Nikken, and say, are you presenting the plan, the full picture, at least 5 times a week? What that's going to do is it's going to give us some clarity in what we're doing, so that okay, I brought on a lot of customers, and that's great, and I have great volume, but how do you progress through the compensation plan? 3 silvers makes a gold, 3 golds make a platinum, 3 platinums make a diamond, 3 diamonds make a royal diamond. Unless you're building with that intent, you're never going to progress, probably past silver at the very best. So what we want to do is, we want to have there be no line between customers and business builders to where you're thinking, oh, I don't want to talk about X, I don't want to be talking about Y. It should be clear in your mind, we talk about Nikken. And then, and this is the big thing, I'm going to say it one more time before we pass off into in a little bit more of the call. The people select what they want to do with Nikken. We don't select what people want to do with Nikken. So what we're here to do is to present them all of their options. Okay, so keep that in mind. It's not about just, oh, today I'm only selling. Keep that in mind. The second little tip I'll give you before I pass it off over to Ben and Dave is the thing I can tell you all, if you're looking, and if you're on this call, the reason that we do this call is really simple. We're here to help you develop the people that want to build a big business, building the Nikken plan. In these big 3 calls, we have the self-care call, which is a reach out call to explain our concept. We have the Stump the Docs call, which is a value-added call to really explain the technologies. This call on Monday night, and the reason we've done this for 10 years is very simple. We are talking to the people that want to build this to the platinum or above level. We want that message to be very, very clear so that you know exactly what this resource is on a Monday night. So I'm talking directly to everybody out there that wants to build this as a career, because you have to have that format. You have to have that level of development. Also, I believe that mentoring in this business is a very defined thing. A mentor is somebody that helps the people they're working with in the Nikken capacity. Now, there's many kinds of mentoring, life mentoring. I like to have one in church. I've had them at different points in my life. But let's talk about Nikken-specific mentoring, the upline, downline relationship. There's a very simple thing that an upline's job is to do. That's to help our people get from direct to silver, and then from silver and beyond, with as least fiddling around as possible, with the least wasted treasure, with the most efficient time. And the only real role an upline has is to help our people do it better, faster, and at less cost. Otherwise, you have no purpose. Okay, we make 6% or 20%. We're paid to help our people's businesses expand. I'm very clear in my mind that my only purpose in life as an upline is to help my team go from A to B as quickly as possible. That's it. Otherwise, I'm not helping them. So if I'm giving them advice and calls and all sorts of other stuff out there that's taking them laterally, That's not my job as an upline. Okay. My job as an upline is to help you go from direct to senior, from senior to executive, from executive to silver without fiddling around. Straight to the top. Now, all the unlocking of why do you want to do this and all that stuff, I've told you guys my thoughts on that before. I spend a lot less time on what would you like to become as a part of this than how much are you ready to change your life. 90% of the people are going to build this the fastest, and I'm talking to all you business builders on this call. Let's get real with each other. You're here because you can't stand where you are, and you're probably running from a nightmare. All the fastest growing people I've ever seen in this business were running from a nightmare. Okay, your house is on fire, you're running out, you're running out, you're running out. When you get outside, then perhaps you can make a life plan. But most people aren't even going to get out of the chair if all they say is, I think I smell smoke. I really should run outside. When do people get up and get really, really active? I'm going to ask you a question. Are you at the point yet when you refuse to accept your life as is and you decide that you're going to go for something else? That's your cleave point in this business of what you're going to do with it. And I always kind of tell people that, if you get that clarity, and you always say, well, what if I do NECAN and I fail? Well, the thing I'll tell you about that is your worst case scenario in NECAN, let's say you do it and for some reason you don't go diamond, your worst case scenario here, you're still left with your best case scenario before you signed up. Have you ever thought about that? That's what's beautiful about NECAN. Your worst possible outcome here is your best outcome before you signed up. The other thing I'll tell you is someone says, well, what if I get in the business and I don't like it? I'll say, well, whatever would you do with fresh water, air, light, nutrition, and a way to fix your bad back? The thing I love the best about NECAN is it's a way to build a giant organization and a business. And as I told you, the June 6th call, we're going to go belly to belly in messaging, prospecting, and really turning your organization over. We spent a lot of time thinking, what do we need to focus on? Remember, my job is to get you from A to B quickly and efficiently straight up. Your job is to say to yourself, am I at the point when I'm prepared to do something? And then here's my tip to keep the promise of what we focus the call on before I pass it over. I learned this in the military. And this has really served me well. Anytime we got a job, whether they made me a driver of a Humvee, or they gave me an AT-5 rocket, or they gave me a new machine gun, they used to preach at us, learn every possible thing you can about that. Become an expert at it, like your life depends on it. And sure enough, whether it's a claymore mine or a grenade or a white phosphorus grenade or a satellite communications technology, if you get in combat, your life depends on it. So you need to be an expert in putting on a gas mask. I remember the first time it was a nightmare thing, getting shot at and my rifle jammed. And I remember I got a double feed. And I remember I was just kind of panicking for a second. What do I do? And I remember they drill into your head, sports, slap, pull, observe, release, tap, shoot. Slap the magazine, pull back the hammer, release the hammer, observe what's in the chamber, tap the forward assist, shoot. Sure enough, I ejected out the bullet. But I went pro doing that because I'd done it so many times. I remember when you start shooting, your respiration's up, and they do SAB, steady, aim, breathe, shoot. So I remember steady, aim, breathe, shoot, squeezing the trigger, don't jerk the trigger. You become an expert. Well, you guys are in NECAN tonight, and you've got Dave Johnson and Ben Woodward on this call, two pros that are going to give you advice tonight. But what I want to ask you all to do is this. Go pro in your business, and not in the buy a seminar ticket kind of a go pro. Take this business on yourself and say, I'm going to learn everything about it. I'm going to get proficient at giving the presentations. I'm going to be an independent consultant. I'm going to learn where the products are, how to place an order, how to do a return. I'm going to learn how the compensation plan works. I'm going to learn when I'm in front of somebody and they ask a question where the answer is. I'm going to know where the calls are. I'm not, well, when's the event? Where do you get tickets for that? What video should I use? I get those questions a lot from people. And I actually try not to ask those questions. And if I do, I'll call Dave and say, hey, where's the video link? And then it's my information. Be a professional in your business if you want to build this to the silver, gold, platinum, or diamond level. Own your business. Make it a point to grab your business. Know everything you can learn about that business. That helped me when I got into corporate America. Right out of college, they put me in charge of 70 people. when I got into a political campaign, I was the coordinator for a Senate race at 26 years of age. It's not because I'm any smarter than anybody else, but I think the gear that they gave us in the service was owning the battle space that I'm in. So no matter what I'm in, I'm going to own it. So when I came into NECAN, I wanted to own, even as an executive or as a senior, this was my business, man. And I wasn't very good at it at first, and I won't get into that story, but I sought the information so that I wasn't somebody's downline, I was an upline. What we're going to do on this Monday night Zoom from here on out, okay, we're going to measure every call by one metric. Will it help you get from A to B quickly and efficiently with as least fiddling around as possible? Will we equip you with excellent tools and methodologies? Will we help inspire you by equipping you with these things? And when you're on this call, will you bring your A game to be a pro so that you're our partner, not our downline? We want this call to be a call to uplines, not to our downlines. I want to work with a downline full of uplines. Okay. Now, of course, everybody proceeds at a different pace with that. But I'm asking you tonight, because you're here, will you join us in NECAN at being a professional organization builder? Will you put this on your shoulder and realize I'm going to talk to 5 people a week showing the plan? We're going to give you the updated one on June 6th. But will you get proficient at doing it? Will you know where things are? Will you be a source of light out there in the field for NECAN to put this company on your back? And then together, collectively, we're going to go to more billions than you could easily count. So I just wanted to share that with you tonight as we get going. You know, we wanted to, Dave and Ben and I had a talk on Thursday. Dave sent out a text and we started talking back and forth. We want to make some major moves to equip the teams of NECAN with some exceptionally quick methodologies and weaponry and videos. And no matter whether you're in Washington State or Florida, you're going to know exactly what to do tomorrow. And our job as an upline is to make sure you know exactly what to do. Your job's to take it and own it like you invented it and then go do it. So I can promise you in the next 14 days, we will have an exact methodology, the tools to follow it, the infrastructure to deliver it globally, and we will have a company that will empower you to have bigger belief by seeing bigger results, and then bigger results will give you bigger belief will give you bigger results, and we're going to start to see the snowballing of NECAN to several billion. So Ben and Dave, I got to tell you, if I wasn't excited, this will do till excited gets here. I feel really locked in. I was telling Dave and Ben, I stood on the head of Pikes Peak on Friday, and I had a real day. That was where they wrote the song America the Beautiful. I don't know, I didn't know that, but when you ride up there, the lady that wrote it standing on Pikes Peak. And Ben, that's the same song as God Save the Queen with different words. You know, about oh beautiful for spacious skies. And I was standing up there, had a really powerful experience I'm not going to get into, but I just had this moment of absolute extreme clarity. And it was the same day that we were talking about tonight. Let's come on and give some powerful tips. And then let's go and drop something really, really big on end day. And let's take this thing to 10 billion. So we're ready to go. Dave and Ben, what do you guys say about that?
If this
sounds good to me.
Yeah, this can be the day that changes everything in your life. The timing is right. Market is absolutely immeasurable, and the opportunity is yours. Maybe I could just share a couple of thoughts right here. I recommend everybody get something like this, and just when you get ideas, write them down. I heard something from Brian Tracy, and this was quite a few years ago, and I transcribed it, and this is something I think is really powerful here. Meaningful work. Pretty much that's how we identify ourselves, is what do you do? That's one of the very first questions. And here's some thoughts right here. Meaningful work that you do well and makes a difference. Our need for significance, work that answers our need for meaning and purpose. Each of us has to know that what we do counts, makes a difference. There is nothing worse in the entire world than to be doing something that you feel doesn't really matter. Meaningless work destroys the soul. And your responsibility, that's to go out and find something that makes a difference. And Rick was talking about just that idea. I think one of the big things that helped me find NECAN was this idea of just being inspirationally dissatisfied, because I had a job I hated. And I don't know about probably everybody has discovered that one job is different than another job. Not all work is created equal. Some is just more fun than others. Some certainly pays more and has more income potential. One of the big things as we search for significance is the idea of work having the ability to leverage our possibilities of making a difference, of what we can do in the world. And one of the ways that I would look at it, how would you measure the ultimate job? What could you and I do that would be the greatest good, that would make the biggest difference, and how would you measure that? Well, I would say waking up in the morning and having an excitement about the day, that you're having fun, that you are making a difference. Income potentially certainly fits in, but when you add the idea of being with a company, that I would ask this question: what if everyone in the world were using all of the Nikken products? I believe it would be an entirely different world where other companies, not a lot of difference would happen. And so I think one of the keys to begin this is just getting inside your head and your heart, and being convinced of the rightness, the goodness of our cause, and then make this cause your own, and share it with other people. I think one of the big keys is people will join you when you become the right person. And I think one of the big things is there's so many folks looking for something to believe in, looking, where are the leaders today? Where can you put your energy and rely on something happening? And when I look at Nikken, especially at this moment, it's real easy to connect the dots and see, growth, everything to do with health and wellness, years ahead, huge growth opportunity. The timing's right. Again, the market is absolutely immeasurable because hardly anyone knows about this stuff. And so just in my book here, where I've got lots and lots of notes, just a thought right here. This is from Winston Churchill. Before you can inspire with emotion, you must be swamped with it yourself. Before you can move their tears, your own must flow. To convince them, you must yourself believe. And so the first person to get excited about your vision is you. You be the one. And I think that's one of the biggest things. And along that line, okay, how do you become successful in this business? Mostly it really is inside your head. And I think the critical key is to have more reasons to do this than fears or laziness or whatever not to do it. Because doing Nikken moment by moment, you're kind of by yourself. Nobody's watching over you. And so you got to have some inner motivation, reasons before you all the time why you want to do this business. Hang on just a sec. I've got, my son has about 15 kids over here. More fun. But
are you even 18, Dave? You can give them an application for your time over there.
There we go. But I just want to say, success really does leave clues. And one of the things that invariably I think is the key to success is really just this basic thing of just a real burning desire and belief, faith in this. I think one of the big keys that really breaks through with this is what if you actually really believed that that God actually works with you through your job. And when you see this happen again and again, and that gets reinforced by just the reality of what these products can do for people. One of my very favorite passages is that he went about doing good. And that's what we should do as well. And here's a way to really multiply that. And so just kind of really get inside yourself that this is good, that this can be huge. And then the next step is, once you get on fire and decide that this is your cause, find people that are already successful in it yourself, and so basically just say, okay, I'm going to do this. Now, one of the biggest shortcuts of success is learn from the experts. Find a mentor. Everybody that's successful that I know of, successful in anything, whether it's playing the piano or learning to be a neurosurgeon or a banker or a sheetrocker or a Nikken person or anything, the whole key is find successful people and have them as your mentor. And then the big thing is go to work. And this is something that I transcribed from an interview with Paul J. Meyer when he was still alive. And I want to share this with you because, in fact, this is written on something else here. It says, I must do the most productive thing possible at every given moment. People that are successful use their time well. And so this is what J. Paul Myers says. The most valuable thing I can do with my time is to be face-to-face with a Class A prospect who I've been sent to see by someone I have respect for, and time to tell my story under favorable conditions. Think about that. That's really what it's all about, is talking to people. If you're not talking to people, you're not working. Now, he says the second most important thing I can do with my time is getting on the phone and getting more appointments to do that. And the third most important thing I can do with my time would be getting more names to do that. And so it just kind of leverages up. If you learn how to just interact with people and you've got something good, the lifeblood of every business is referrals. And so if you can make those initial contacts with people you love and you believe in this and share this with them, with all the intent not to sell them something, but to provide service and helping them, and then learning how to get referrals, you all of a sudden have something that has effectively an infinite resource, and that's other people. And it just kind of multiplies out. This interview here, a lot of it was phone. The phone is still one of the most powerful tools, is get on the phone where you can personally connect with people. And we live in an amazing world right now with the technology of not just a telephone, but what we're doing right now on the internet. The world is getting smaller. Geography doesn't mean anything anymore. You can talk to anybody anywhere. But still, day to day, the telephone is absolutely amazing. So if you're doing Facebook or some of the other things, still build the relationship, and most of that is just the interaction by picking up the phone. And so basically, I guess we just gotta let the cat out of the bag. You're in the prospecting business, and it all starts and ends with your ability to get a list and put people on it. And go out there and meet with them on phone or internet or whatever, and meet with them again and again. I look at the Nikken business a lot like courtship. I met my wife at a dance, and I really liked her a lot, but I didn't ask her to marry me that night. I asked her for a date. And then on that date, I liked her a lot, but I thought, the main purpose of that date would be to ask for another date. And typically what I've discovered is in Nikken, what it is meeting with somebody and determining if you can provide a service or benefit. I'm just looking for people that are looking for me, and the purpose of that first meeting would be to decide that. And if I can help them, and if they want my help, then the next thing is have another meeting, follow up with a three-way, do different things like that, and just get back with people again and again. Because a lot of people drop the ball because they don't follow up. And typically I found that it's usually 4 or 5 individual contacts before somebody really makes that action of either buying something or joining the team. And so get back with people again and again, and then just talk to lots of people. There's magic and power in the numbers. And so those are some of the thoughts I would like to share. And I think we've got something that's really put together really well in the whole history of network marketing. You look at any company, what it is finding 2 or 3 people. That's all. And that's about 90% of anybody's business or income, regardless of the company. And I just think this is such a golden moment because we've got everything dialed in. And with the new pricing, the new things that are going on, it's just so exciting to basically, what I would say is an encore career, doing a one more time. And I'm just really pumped. And anyone that's listening right now, you can be part of something brand new in a 40-year-old company as we go out and literally change the world. This is a world-changing company, and be part of that new culture, part of the building a new team that will revolutionize the way we even think about health, and make a fortune while you're at it. So those are my thoughts.
Nice. And we do, guys. Ben, you're going to bring us home. Everybody listening to this call, we get that we've made a quantum leap as a company. I know, Ben, you were the steering man for the whole thing up there when we transitioned. But we also get that our methodologies now have to catch up to the speed of the company. it's interesting. Our methodology was ahead of the company a couple of years ago. Now the company's been ahead of our methodology. We're going to close that gap in the next 14 days. It's going to be finished. This is a new era we're going to do where we'll be able to work all three phases of the game. The newest people will be able to do it immediately. I am fired up. I cannot wait. In fact, I actually had one of those nights last night, laying in bed all night thinking. So, Ben, I'm excited to be with some of my best friends on this call and partners. And, man, just to take us home as someone that helped engineered this, we're on the precipice of another great leap as field leaders in the next 2 weeks. What say you, my friend, to take us home for all these fine people as we get ready to really drop the hammer?
Well, I think I'm reminded tonight of one of my first experiences as a distributor. I joined a network marketing company when I was 22 years old, when I was living in England. And we had a very successful leader there that gave great counsel and advice. And I remember sitting in one of the meetings. In fact, I remember getting to a paycheck and wondering why I hadn't qualified when I thought I had. I'd misunderstood a certain element of the compensation plan, and I was frustrated by it. I thought I'd done everything I needed to, and I thought I'd been perhaps misinformed or uninformed as a result of this mistake. But then I learned that I had been taught, it had been explained in meetings that I'd attended. But what I realized was in the dialogue, in the exchange, in the instruction, there was a lot of good stuff that just flowed from the leader's mouth like it was just something not necessarily earth-shattering or life-changing. This is just what you do. It sounded so simple and so straightforward that I missed it. Does that make sense? And I share that because tonight there's been a lot of simple and straightforward stuff that's been shared that is actually profoundly important. Sometimes the great silver bullets that we look for to change the business come in the form of something that looks very mundane and very straightforward. It isn't always something flashy and clever. It is often something simple and everyday. And Dave used a key word here called work. Now, I want to share with you just very briefly my experience in having Dave Johnson as my upline. On the outside, he looks like a very friendly, easygoing, gentle, kind of guy. He's just everything is just so straightforward, so simple, and so loving and caring. But I want you to know that he's got underneath all of that a wonderful technique that has prodded me along on many occasions. And I'll give you some examples.
Is he whipping you already now too, Ben, already? It's only been a month. Uh-oh. Dave, you scared him so bad he froze, Dave. There he is.
Am I back? Am I back?
You're back.
But you may have heard these phrases before. The difference is, of course, what we choose to do with it. For example, I'll be chatting with him and he'll say, so who are you to this week? You know, what's going on in your group? And I'll explain, I've got this going on. Hell, I'd love to help out. Or we're about to jump onto a meeting and you'll use that wonderful phrase, hey, Ben, I double dog dare you to get someone on the call that's going to be on tonight. Let's see what we can do. Let's see who we can reach out to invite to join the call. And he will continually give me these challenges and extend commitments to me to do something now. Now, sometimes that's uncomfortable. Maybe I didn't have it in my schedule to do what he was asking me to do in that very moment. But I take up those challenges and I'm grateful for them. I'm pleased to say, as a result of his help over these last 24 hours, I'm signing up someone new today as a consequence of that. Thank you, Dave. And I've got an in-home at their place scheduled for Friday morning where they're going to be inviting as many guests as possible to get building and getting started straight away. The great thing is my personal group, he helps out there and he works with me to build my personal group. And I'm pleased to say as a fruit of that, I don't say it to boast, I say it because he has been a facilitator and an example of work. As a consequence of that, my personal group volume was in one of the top qualifying groups for North America this past month. Why? Not because I did anything clever, but because there was a silver bullet dressed up as something very mundane, very casual, very everyday, and it was taught to me by Dave. It's called hard work. Now, I want to share with you a thought, which I really like here. There are all sorts of different work that we can look at. If you've got a big family, such as myself, we've got a lot of family work. If we're in business or we've got a full-time job, we've got our employment type of work, we've got our weekend work, maybe we've got church work as well. There is a whole mix of different types of work that we're involved in each and every day. But here's a thought that I'd like you to consider. I heard this from a man called Neil Maxwell, who said the hardest work you and I will ever do is to put off our selfishness. That, he said, is heavy lifting. That's interesting, that, isn't it? And I've heard it said that people are not willing to change until the pain of the problem becomes greater than the pain of the solution. And that often, I believe, relates to that need to lift ourselves out of that state of selfishness, that heavy lifting, so to speak, to get us into an authentic place where the work we do is the most important work. He said this: our preferred chores need little encouragement because there are certain things that we need to do each and every day. There are certain things that we might prefer to do over other jobs. He said our preferred chores need encouragement. He said, in the words of Spencer Condé, who was paraphrasing Strauss, he said, never give an encouraging nod to the brass section or you'll never hear the strings again. Meaning by that, never give an encouraging nod to the jobs we like to do over the jobs that need to get done. I have found, as I've worked with Dave, who has been a wonderful mentor and upline to me, that we have everything that we need to build the business. As I have followed his subtle and ever so comfortably disguised instructions, trainings, coaching, mentoring that he gives, simply in the word here or there saying, hey, who are you going to be speaking to today? We've got a meeting tonight or a call tonight. I double dog dare you to invite someone before the night's through to participate in these calls. Those simple instructions, when we act on them and do something, I have found bring results. I'm thrilled by that. What I've learned is the answer to our success is not rocket science. What it is our commitment to open our mouths and talk to people. What Rick has been talking about tonight that we want to share with you in a couple of weeks' time, I want to give you advance notice. It isn't actually rocket science. What you're going to learn here is some basic, straightforward stuff. But the critical thing to succeed is to open our mouths, to reach out and to talk to people. I did an in-home on Thursday last week. I tried something for the first time that I hadn't done before. I did a live Facebook event. I didn't know what it was going to be like. I've never done a live Facebook event. They'd only just introduced video streaming. But you know what happened? I got about 60 people that attended that meeting, far more than if I would have done it in my home, which is great. But by the end of the night, I had more than 200 people that had actually ended up participating in that experience. That was pretty awesome. As a consequence of that, I've got new customers coming through, new business partners, emails coming in saying, can I get my hand on this product? I even had customers, prospective customers, joining that live event, loved the format so much. I was speaking to one of them yesterday, and I just asked her for feedback. I said, could you tell me what you thought of that live event? She said, I thought it was so neat the way we did it, that she said she immediately messaged her sister and got her participating as well. So we had customers inviting customers into the meeting to participate. Now, that's not necessarily the way. It's a great way, but it's a way. At the same time, on Thursday, I'm doing it in-home where I'm traveling an hour's drive up to my new front line that I'm recruiting tonight to do an in-home for her and for her guests, and that's going to be in person. To my point, whether it's speaking in person, whether it's doing a live event, whatever the methodology, we need to open our mouths, invite, follow up, talk to people, encourage them, and persuade and be there for them, because at the end of the day, when we love what we do, everything else will start to follow. But there are some fun ways to do this, but at the end of the day, that's what it's really all about. Let's just open our mouths and speak. I had a meeting this morning with a handful of people in my team, and I gave them a challenge. They wanted to learn a little bit about some different things that I'm trying, and I said, here's the simple solution. I'm not going to do too much training today. Here is the solution. Set a date in your diary over the next 2 weeks where you're going to do a presentation like we're talking about today. My mentoring group, and I can see some of them are on the call tonight, I gave that same challenge to 2 weeks ago. Let's do less talking and more working.
Yeah.
Let's set a commitment. And I think, can you imagine what would happen? We've got about 82 people on this call tonight at this current point. What would happen if every one of us went out there and did an in-home, be it a live event on Facebook, or be it in our home, or be it at a local community center, or wherever it might be? What would happen if every single one of us did an in-home presentation to new customers and to new business partners within the next 7 days? I wonder what would happen there. I wonder what would happen if we did 2. I wonder what would happen if we did 3. We've got the material here to do it. We've got the products. We've got the prices to make it competitive. Everyone gets their own web shop to make it easy for them to do the same. What would happen if every one of us did that one simple activity? Because the reality is, when we put a date in the diary, then the nervousness, the adrenaline, the fear, the worry, all of the stress that comes with that event creates for us the questions that we need to get answered to get the job done. When we don't put the date in the diary, we just go round and round in circles, talking about it, but never getting the job done. I think what needs to happen now is simple. Let's put a date in the diary. Can you imagine what it would have been like if I'd have said to my wife, when I proposed to her, will you marry me? And she said, I'll give it some thought, right? Or when do you think that should be? Well, no particular time right now. Let's just talk about it for a while. And then time goes on and on and on, and I never set a particular date to get married. It would never happen, and she'd leave me pretty quick. We've got to put a date in the diary to get things done. It's a fundamental part of building our business. It's a fundamental part of goal setting, fundamental part of strategy building, goal achievement. Let's put a date in the diary tonight, ladies and gentlemen, to do an in-home in whichever way we are comfortable, in person, live on Facebook, if you want to copy my approach that I did last week, whichever the style is. Let's put a date in the diary. Let's do one within the next 7 days and watch what happens. That's my invitation. I think that'll make a big difference. The more we do that, the more results we'll get. All of my problems get solved when I go to work. That's the great thing. Yeah. So I'll pass the time back over to you, Rick.
Let me ask you a question, you guys. Did you guys, both of you guys have personally sponsored a new Frontline this month, right?
I come last week.
Okay, we have too, yeah. Right? So all 3 of us have a new Frontline this month. Did both of you guys have a new Frontline last month?
I had depth last month.
Yeah, I knew you had a big month because you were in the 7,500s. So you're working across the group. So guys, this isn't a lab full of people that are like kicking in money to qualify at Diamond or something. This is work. Dave, you're always working, man. You're always in the top of everything. What we want to do as uplines for you guys is we want to give you something really simple so that you're free to go out and create those dates instead of have the double burden of what do I create and what do I do once I get there. Once we clear that off the table, then let's load this up. And by the way, the Facebook you thing Ben, is super cutting edge. My wife and I, about 3 months ago, a woman at church had have you seen the MLM with the children's books? I don't even know what it's called.
Oh, yeah.
That's how they were building their business about 3 months ago. And my wife said to me, we need to do this. And I'm mad at myself right now because she was sending me pictures of it. And I just didn't do it because I hadn't done it. I wasn't quite sure of it on my mind. And here you've gone out and Nikonized it. That thing, I saw it blow up on there. And I actually procrastinated, didn't do it. And here you're talking about how great it is. That I'm kicking myself tonight because that's an area I got to get better too. The bottom line, guys, is if your business is around messaging outward to new people, and we're going to give you mechanism. Let's give you 5 plans to show a week. How do you want to do it? An in-home, on Facebook, live, streaming. Okay, but you're not just going to go out and show people a business. No. You're going to go out and spread the Niken word. It funnels down from meeting everybody to customers to upgrades to business partners. We want to have that funnel to where you go out, you can start to harvest and take that people power forward so that when you're in motion, if you've got a 400 horsepower motor, let's have that motor connected to a transmission so that you're going straight down the highway as quickly as possible. That's the job of an upline of a company, is to take that raw horsepower and convert it into torque to make a fast moving motor going down the road. And I think what we're going to see in Niken now, we got our heads wrapped around what the motor will look like, the Teach 3 to Reach 3, the 500 playing in the red zone. When we add in the show and the plan to the 5 customers and we have this thing totally laid out, I believe what we're going to see is lightning duplication like we have never seen in Niken over this next 6 months. All of you guys in this call are great at getting customers. You're hearing Dave and Ben talking about getting in action. All these things are coming into place. We're going to fine tune it on June 6th, and then we're going to be out the gate. So do you, Dave and Ben, do you guys have anything you want to add before we close it out, or are you guys ready to rock?
I would like to, probably everybody here, maybe it was high school, but it was sometime in your life where you were supposed to run a mile and it was as fast as you can. And if you can imagine, maybe that's on a track, you're running as fast as you can. I would like to say, interestingly, Niken is backwards. It's just exactly opposite. And so if you remember running around the track, that first time around there, you're feeling pretty good. Your blood is moving around and wow. But if you're running as fast as you can, that last lap, your body is saying, what are you doing this for? Stop, stop. And as you near the end, giving it your very best, your body's just wanting to stop and shut down. Well, in Niken, it's exactly opposite. When you first look at this and you think, I got to call somebody. Oh, that's scary. Stop. Oh, don't do that. Oh. But after you go through just that first little bit, all of a sudden it's like the very beginning of running the track. And so once you get in it a while, you're just moving along and it's easy. It's fun. The best time to make a sale is right after you've made one, and it just gets easier and easier. So the hardest part of the business is actually the beginning rather than the end. It gets easier and easier as you go. And when you realize that, my goodness, people are just out there waiting to be energized to see what we have. And it really is a fun conversation talking about energy medicine or 10-4 or osteodance. We got so many things, that new duct tape, I like to call it prospecting tape. But it just, fun stuff. And so kind of along the Ben talking about all those neat quotes, I just like to say that, the pain of discipline is nothing. The pain of regret, that's what you don't want to have. So anyway, don't be sorry. Be glad you did this. And so run through that first little bit that's really hard, because it'll get easier and easier, especially if you will just avail yourself to your active upline. Get in touch, call them every day, do ABCs. This is not by yourself business. That really is hard. So take advantage of having mentors, having a coach, and be coachable. So decide, get the desire, have a coach, and then get in the game and play, and it'll happen.
Yep, and I'll tell you what, guys, you ain't seen nothing yet in Niken. What's about to happen right now, I believe we're at that point, is going to be literally a detonation, and you're all a part of it. So get out there and really get yourself engaged in your own business. Be a professional in your business. Decide you're going to do it. Remember, the hardest part about the business is a body in motion tends to stay in motion. A body at rest tends to stay at rest. The hardest part about getting in motion is just overcoming friction to get it moving. Y'all ever pushed a couch across the floor? Once you get it moving, don't stop. That's this doggone business. Don't worry about if the couch didn't slide right away. Just put your back into it a little bit. And I'm going to say this to you guys again. What we're going to do is we're going to make sure that when you go out and work, that you're working in a straight line, not zigzagging all over the place. So 82 people have to go and reinvent the wheel 82 times here. That's our job as an upline leadership team, is to make sure that 82 people don't have to read Shakespeare and invent the alphabet. Okay, and that's a really big thing. So here's the thing. System is only a big deal if you don't have one, because then you can't develop style. We're going to make sure there's just a baseline so that we can add all the beautiful, talented people in NECAM with all the versions, all the ideas, all the possibilities. We want to give you a giant ability to create a canvas. We're just going to give you a piece of paper and some colors, and then you go out and paint the picture that you like. So Ben, you ready to rock this thing? Dave, you guys ready to rock it?
Absolutely, absolutely. I'll just say one thing, just in closing. A couple of people have messaged just saying they like the idea of those live Facebook events. I've sent a link in the chat so you can have a look at it if you missed it. If you want to give it a go, I deliberately created a folder on my computer that had all of the assets, the video links, the images that I downloaded. You can change out my links to my web shop and replace them with yours. And I created a script as well. The script isn't perfect. It was my first go. You might want to change it and do it with different products or a different focus. But if you want anything like that, then the more I do these, I'm just going to create them as bundles so that people can be using them themselves if they want. So just message me if you want some, and let me.
Nice.
And everybody, I'd like to give you a challenge. Call up your active upline and just call them every day. But make that first call. Call them up and talk to them.
Hey, Ben, I'm going to put you on the spot. The 6th, we're going to release the updated NECAM plan. Are you available the 13th? Maybe we could do a webcast of how to do that, and we'll back-to-back them. That way we've got 2 prospecting horsepower calls back-to-back.
Sure.
Are you cool with that? Right.
On how to do a live Facebook event?
Yeah, could you do that live on the Zoom, and we'll just show everybody out, because I'm getting a lot of people saying, would you guys do a presentation? Is it doable?
Yeah, well, here's my thoughts. I'll definitely be available, so yes is my answer. Whether or not it's best to do it on Zoom or do it on Facebook might be different. What I might do is set up a Facebook event and let you experience it. That way it's going to be much better.
That'd be better. So, yeah, could we be on the Zoom while you do it so people could see you and answer questions and stuff like that? Would that work or no? We'll talk about it offline, because my phone's blowing up for people asking for this right now. Dave, everybody's saying, can we do this live? We will get it to you ASAP. Oh, you back, man?
Okay.
Okay.
I'm back. Yeah. So like I said, on a Facebook event, you can chat. I in the chat there. If you go to the discussion section of that page, scroll down to the bottom like you're reading an email chain, and then work your way up. You'll see the chat and the interaction that took place. So I could do a live demonstration of a Facebook event. You can chat and ask questions, and I can take you through the whole process, and it'll be recorded all there on Facebook. You can go back over and over, watch it as often as you share them, all at the same time. So it might be good to do it on Facebook if you want, or we could do both. I could do it on Facebook, and anyone that's a little unfamiliar, maybe you could do a share screen, Rick,
and then
via
I
Zoom.
think it'd be cool if they could hear you and see your video and watch the share screen. I just think it'd be powerful for you to be narrating what you're doing and why as you're doing it. Yeah.
So cool. we can definitely do that 100%.
Well, I tell you what, if I'm not excited, my name isn't Rick Ricketts. All right, guys. Well, hey, we love you guys. Thanks for being here, all you wonderful people out there. Let's put NECAM on our backs. Let's put NECAM on everybody's backs, I mean in the big way. Let's shoulder this thing up to a couple of billion right now, and let's get out there and personally sponsor, connect people. You know, we're going to pave the road for you, but you got to put your foot on the pedal and press it. And together, we're going to do something amazing. So anyways, we love you guys, Dave and Ben. You guys are the best of the best. What do you say we go out and knock this thing out of the park? What do you say, everybody?
Be the change that you want to see in the world.
That's good to me.
Awesome. Well, God bless you guys. Thank you. I'll talk to you the next day or so.